Hello, my name is Carol May Whittick. Welcome to Her Inspirations and welcome to the second episode of Flow into 2024 series. This week, the focus is on desire and how it shapes your journey into the coming year. From Napoleon Hill, desire is the starting point of all achievement, not a hope, not a wish, but a keen, pulsating desire which transcends everything. In order for you to fully participate in what I've created for this series, I've designed weekly journal pages so that you can engage in a deeper personal inquiry of each of the week's topics. To receive those, please join the mailing list so that they'll be sent to you every Monday after the Friday release, and you'll also receive the Embody Higher Energetic Resonance Embody Her course. And also not to worry if you've missed any of the preceding weeks, as every email will include all the links to the previous diaries and the previous episodes so that you can easily catch up. From Confucius, the will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. So the question is, what is desire? Desire goes beyond mere wants. It's a powerful force that allows with our deepest purpose and also our spiritual growth. If I look at the etymology of desire, it's from the Latin desiderare, from de-sider or sidus, heavenly body. And seeing the way that the word breaks down, for me, it just shows that our desires come from our own higher self, urging us to become more, not allowing us to rest on our laurels. So why do we have desires? With anything in nature, it's natural to grow. It's natural to want to expand. If we're not creating, then we're consuming, we're taking, we're being less of ourselves. We're not expressing ourselves and holding ourselves back is only going to lead to frustration, to bitterness, to entropy, and ultimately holding that within our body then will create disease and illness. So the question is, why do people fight their desires? And I feel that it comes from a level of worthiness, our limiting beliefs that we have around growth, a fixed mindset that we might have, and holding ourselves back from our abundance. And remember, abundance is not just about finance, but also of showing up as more in the world. If we want to see where our worthiness, where our self-worth is, and how we feel about what we deserve in our life, we can check our own responses to those who have more when we see them. How do we react when we see people who are doing things that we want to do? Do we feel inspired by them? Do we feel envious of them? Are we cutting them down some way? Because that's kind of reflecting back and showing why we're stuck in that way. What is it pulling out of us? And how can we clean that energy up to allow more to come into our lives and to be who and what we are aligned with, because we're not being shown these things for no reason. Another way that we can keep ourselves safe from our desires and not pushing into and expanding into the more that we want is who we spend our time with. So if we're spending our time with people who don't want that much more for themselves, then we're comfortable in just playing small in our own lives. And if we want to be more, we have to look at where we're allowing ourselves to expand and push past our own comfort zones. As the saying goes, great minds discuss ideas. And you need to allow yourself to be in the space where you're talking about ideas as opposed to talking about other people. And a personal story of my own when it came to making change in 2023 and when I wanted to expand, it was interesting to see how people reacted to me speaking about the change that I wanted to make. Or if I didn't even talk about the change that I wanted to make, their response to witnessing the change that I was making. what was really interesting was some of the opposition that I faced. I'm going to assume that it wasn't from any malice, but sometimes people's triggered and gut reaction really shows where they are in what they feel about you or what they're gaining from you remaining in a certain space. And as you start to move away, then in a last-ditch attempt to kind of keep you by them and keep you small, as it were, then they will do all it is to try and discourage you from going forward. And sometimes that comes down to even mocking and trying to put questions in your mind as to whether they think you're able to achieve it or whether you can do it. And when I was talking about some of the things that I was planning to do this year, many of which I've done and surpassed even, I do remember one conversation where someone was like, well, how much of that have you done? Have you done it before? It's like, well, I just haven't created it and made it so public. And this was the year that I had to do this. I felt like a huge calling to make this happen. And what it would mean for me to step deeper into what I needed to do was that I was going to have to separate from the work situation that I was in with them. And also they were going to have to look elsewhere to find somebody to fill the role that I had been filling for them for many years. And needless to say, it didn't go down well. And what I've realised in my absence, nothing has been completed. So that was a real eye-opener when it came to sometimes in order to step out and step away, that people will try their damnedest to pull you back, and you have to be just aware of it. And sometimes it's really surprising because often people can be very supportive until they're losing you. From Robin Sharma, clarity precedes success. So when it comes to desires, you need to really know what it is that you want. And how would you answer these questions? What is it that you really want? Who do you want to be? How much do you want to have? And this could be in anything. How much money do you want to make? How much work do you want to do? What kind of relationship do you want to have? Where do you want to live? What car? What clothes? All of these things are valid things that you need to have an awareness of. And how much do you want to have doesn't mean that you have to say you want all of the things. Maybe there's something that you're comfortable with that may seem quite meager to other people, but the clarity around that is what's going to give you the blueprint for you moving forward. And when we move on in the weeks in this flow into 2024, it becomes so clear and so easy for you to move forward. Also, what do you want to create? What are you being shown that you can do? What are you being shown that you can shift? What do you want to bring into the world? Where do you want to learn and create more about yourself? There's the board is open, the canvas is clear. What do you want to do to fill it? Knowing what you want is important. So detailed descriptions will lay the ground for you to know the first steps that you need to take, because, we can never know the full journey, and start to align with the resources that you will need to help you. So you need to know at the beginning, what is it that you want, so that you can then start to communicate that, and then the help will show itself to you. Also, go beyond your comfort zone and think about what is impossible. How do you feel when you say what it is that you desire? If you're really honest with your biggest dreams, what is it that you want? If that, yeah, but, or that can't happen, that kind of thing comes in your mind, why are you clamping down on yourself? Why is it that you think that that's impossible for you? And look around in the world. Are there people out there who have achieved what it is that you want for yourself, or achieved something like what you want for yourself? Because if they're out there doing this, then it's possible for you. And that's how you'll benefit from this flow series. The more clear that you can get, the more honest that you can be on every week of this series, it will then build on each point so that you will be able to flow into 2024. Desire drives us forward. In our desire, we also have to be free with our desire, without attachment, and surrender to the outcomes of our desires. we don't really know what it will look like when we get exactly what it is we want. But if we enter into the excitement of what it is that we're trying to create for ourselves, or what it is we're seeing is possible for us, if we let go of any rigid expectations of the idea that it has to fit in a certain box, it's allowing space then for divine guidance and unexpected blessings to pop in. Because if you're being so rigid about what it is, and a gift comes in, or a new direction, if you're so stuck on the idea, then you could turn away something that could pivot you into more that you could ever imagine. So be open to experiencing miracles. And also in pivoting, or in being guided slightly off center, you may feel there could be potential lessons there that you can hold. And sometimes when we have those desires and we don't, and somehow we don't get what it is that we want, it's just in the taking action of going forward. It will bring you in a certain direction, and you'll also, as you're following through, be changing and learning and experiencing something new. You'll be meeting different people. You'll be seeing parts of yourself that you could never have decided had you have stuck to the plan, as it were. And remember, our desire is our soul's desire. And I love this quote from Rumi. When you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy. When you allow yourself to have that desire and to feel into your desires, and I'd encourage you to sit and contemplate it, go into deep meditation, go for long walks in nature, and just allow your mind to ask your soul, what is it that I really want? If I could have anything, let me just see where my mind goes, free of any constriction. And ask yourself, how can you align with your intuition on a deeper level and learn to trust more of what is shown for you? Because those glimpses, those ideas are from your soul and showing you how much more there is available for you. And the answer is, will you allow yourself to lean in more and listen and bring that into the world, and then witness the shifts within yourself, but also witness the impact and the shifts that you can create for other people? Are you curious to see how much is possible for you? In that meditation, in that contemplation, bask in the joy and the energy and the possibility and the dreamy feeling of that desire. And the longer you can stay within that desire, you'll become entranced by your own dream. You'll become compelled to take action, despite not knowing how you're going to make it happen, despite not knowing whether it's going to work out or not. It doesn't become about that anymore. It's just you enjoying that dreamy feeling, that creamy, dreamy feeling of desire. From Patanjali. When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Next week, we move on to evolve. So thank you for joining me again on week 2 of this flow into 2024. I am so loving doing this as well, and I encourage you to join the mailing list to get the journal sheets, because they will ask you additional questions so you can really go deeper into what it is that you want for yourself in 2024. So the links are in the show notes below. Also, if you're ready to flow into more of yourself in 2024 and you'd love to do it with me, I've got my personalized one-to-one program for you, and we can talk about how it is creating more of you, creating more of your higher energetic resonance, and allowing you to be all that you were incarnated to be. Find me on my website, carolmaywhittick.com, CarolMaewhittick, on Instagram, Casmic, CAZMICK, Carol May Whittick on Facebook and LinkedIn. So until the next week, enjoy the dreaminess of your desires. Take care. Bye.